So you have all this money, and what are you going to do with it? You know, that's the problem of capitalism. At some point, you can't answer the question properly. Some point, you're going to be a fucking asshole instead. Welcome to being rich is bullshit. And there's a lot of, I mean, people just genuinely agree, but rich people just want to, like, uh, still exist in the world. And then a lot of people want to become rich, so they're like, oh, ugly poor people. Also, some poor people think that they're so actually ugly that they cannot show themselves on camera. They're supposed to be super shy and not kill people for being poor. Yeah. Just like the world is upside down because we tolerate rich people too much. It's just like, ugh. But eventually we're gonna hit the rock bottom. We're gonna cross the line into where the purge is gonna start happening, and some kind of form of crime is just gonna be, you know, unleashed because there's a withering effect to society. You know, at first the withering effect of like, oh, what the fuck is going on? Why are we smelly? Why are we filled with corona thing? Why can't I smell at all or taste anything? What's going on to my body, bro? What are these sticky things? And they kind of look like a virus because we, as science, we have observed things and stuff. How do we kill that, though? The only thing I know is a vaccine. And vaccine is about just injecting more viruses, and hopefully the body just kind of just trains itself, right? Like, it's just some bullshit nonsense. And the whole way through, just the war is bullshit nonsense. We all know that. But it's somewhere else. It's not really happening anywhere, but it makes us scared of like, and the businesses can take the opportunities to use our fear to inflate prices and all that shit. And also can use the previous problem to inflate prices because, my goodness, pandemic, guys, made everything very complicated. Well, you should have been doing your work, by the way, during the pandemic. So even if you couldn't do your work, you still should have been doing your work to make things smooth. Smooth transition back to normal. Or like, if we have free time, we don't really get free time. And people complain that they have too much free time. You didn't got any free time, my friends. You had to worry about a lot of things, and your eyes should have been open. Mine were open because, I mean, I was already ready since 2019 to do weird things, and the weird things just kind of like immediately started. Yeah, but it's not because Corona, because I'm started stacking things together. But the weirdest realization is, shit, we're being challenged. We're being challenged into like this boredom matchup. The fight against boredom. And I will definitely win because I at least know the fucking enemy. I know what we're fighting against. The actual enemy is like, so please don't be bored at least. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Just don't be bored. But it's way scarier than you think. What happens when you get bored? Instantly you get mental illness. Instantly you do stupid things to yourself. Instantly you start wasting money, by the way, and just looking for things to occupy yourself with. You become desperate, and slowly, you know, internet is turning into more and more hostile space. But in general, like, anxiety is gonna just kill you, straight up kill you. Like, it's not that simple. In the world that where everyone is struggling and everyone wants to use you, basically, even for your eyeballs, just stare at the screen. I need you to watch my videos. Give me my watch time. So more people are enticed to watch my videos because the algorithm, you know, like, you're useful. You're too useful. You can be tracked with your data. Like, we need to track you and we need to use you somehow. This is the mentality right now of the world. So If you become desperate of like doing what other people are doing, you're slowly just getting corrupted. Because technically, we should be somewhat individuals who want to be a part of society, but we're still doing our own cool things that hopefully earn money. All right? Or we have to earn money on the side. That's the strategy of 143. Insert random number here, which one you like. I like to be on a trendy site, so I'll just pick TikTok. I've mastered TikTok, so it's number 4 for me. Which is not very good, because I'm a number 2. I would like to have a community, a sense of community around here. So I got nothing for myself, technically. And even when I make these videos, like, it's sort of pathetic. But apparently, even if I make a card game of my own, it's pathetic. You know, I can't impress people at all. Like, putting effort is just not good enough. So you got 2 dislikes, which I don't know what that means, by the way. I still gonna wait for an explanation. It's just like kind of talking to the government, basically. Oh, I don't like something. Yeah, but why? Just you understand, like, I have to, like, hear you say why. What's your opinion on things? Because, like, if you dislike something, you must have an opinion, right? But it's just so easy. Like, I don't have to have an opinion because my reason, I'm an internet person. I just click the button, actually. I'm just a stupid little piece of shit. And, of course, we're going to translate all of this into why being rich is bullshit. But you must understand the context that we're in. And the context is always, we're getting closer to the purge. The purge where people are just absolutely frustrated. But you don't have the right to be frustrated. If frustration comes from boredom, if you could have been doing anything else, then you don't have the right to be frustrated, unfortunately. That thing, why is boredom so fucking crazy, right? Well, boredom, again, you have to be doing your thing, your cool little thing for yourself, and I've been doing it so successfully that I only just need my mom by my side, and that's it, bro. I just need one person. It's almost like it's you living like as a magnet, and the moment you're really fucking desperate, like my dad was able to like pull me off my mom, but if you desperately just gonna bump into one person and just collide and rely on each other, basically. And it so happens that it just kind of haven't really collided. I just went back, one step back of like, no, whatever my dad decided to do was kind of fucking stupid. And I just went a step back, you know, because he's just a drunk idiot who smokes and just is absolute insane person. All right. But he knows how to make money, and that's it. So I get fascinating. But we almost like get in trouble with this guy. So I was lucky, like, to not go through some weird adventures, I would say. Just like have a smooth ride. I was really lucky, I would say. Because it wasn't his part of the deal to make things smooth. It was someone else's. Really, really big help. That was like mesmerizing how much help I received from that dude. So yeah, I actually was basically in that situation where I'm like, oh, I'm in a nice relationship, and I went back home and I'm still in a nice relationship, even 5 times nicer, because I don't have to like worry about money anymore. And again, it's very relevant. The context is going to be very relevant for this video. So I'm no longer bored. I have defeated boredom to some extent. It doesn't mean that the boredom doesn't fucking lurk around. It doesn't kill other people. You know, more and more people are getting kind of turned off and turned into this NPC mode of like, they're just going to do some stupid thing. You know, like slowly you just incorporate more and more evil things into your life. Boredom can corrupt you slowly. and replace the good stuff with the bad stuff because you're bored and you just like want to fucking watch crime documentaries or some bullshit like that. They just don't actually enrich your life. You just have to like spend time desperately, and you have to desperately feel something. You like do drugs or some bullshit like that. Like slowly you get corrupted, you know? And slowly you turn into a just straight up zombie. Just because you're bored, just because you don't know where to spend your time. This is what we got. We got healthier human beings that have nothing to do in their lives. We can live longer. That doesn't mean we're going to be happier. It means none of those things. And there's more investigations to be done. For me, I have plenty of things to do. But if I'm scared and my heart starts malfunctioning and questioning, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, right now, I'm just, like, in a weird position. Not because my breathing is fine. Like, in this location, my breathing was, like, fucking messed up. I couldn't breathe properly. But now, like, opening the windows, it's fine. Was there any health problems in this location? Again, the 22, 23 years. I don't know, man. I mean, I was dealing with just decay in general, dude. That I was able to like mitigate and stop and minimize all the damage to a halt almost. So that's cool. But now I have like the back problems, and it's just it feels like there's a heart problem as well. The heart that tells me like I should be doing something, but maybe I shouldn't be doing something. Now it's just like a confused heart syndrome that also like gets triggered by like evil and stuff. Way more than it used to be. Even just on mostly because I deal with this things on the screen. So if anyone says anything fucking ridiculous or triggering, like I get really panicked about it. I get really trippy about it. And I have to like at least skip the part of the video to just reset everything. But that's fine because I have control over all these things, and it just actually feels normal that I would find so much meaning behind the videos that it would start scaring me, because the world is not a simple thing. It's gonna get worse, and it's just getting worse naturally because we need to brew superheroes, and we need to get rid of the fucking corrupted people who are just, again, corrupted mainly because of this boredom thing. The resource that we have the most, the resource that we're the most rich for is time right now. We have plenty of time to do our little things, and we don't have time to be bored, though. Or we're not supposed to have time to be bored. We're not supposed to have time to waste. You know, we're just not supposed to, because we're all still in a competitive environment, you know, at least slightly. You can catch up using social manners. You can catch up to anything. You can even break through the fucking the coolness system of like, oh, I'm the cool kid. Well, if you waterboard the cool kid, then they will give you all the secrets you need, and you caught up. You know, just need to grab them and fucking assault them for long enough. Cool kid, like, it's annoying to like know that there's a bunch of secrets in the world, but I was able to like break through them because I'm a smart dude. All right, I can just crunch it as a puzzle piece, but I have to put a lot of work into fucking breaking this shit down. And being rich is one of those things that, you know, again, the sort of cool, but not quite there, you know, just poppy kids, I would say. Poppy kids have the resources, but they don't know how to spend it to actually become celebrities and become influential and powerful. They don't know how to fucking do that. So, yeah. Popular kids. Well, all right. A lot of information, of course, let's start from the very beginning. No big deal. Being rich is bullshit. And it's probably worse than you think. Because even I don't know how bad it is until I lay it all down. Until I get the full grasp. And we're going to be sitting here for like 2 hours, so... Hey, buckle up, Dorothy. As always, I don't fuck around. Like most people do. I dig very deep. But the downside of my content is that it's confusing, right? How can you possibly know all these things without doing the work yourself? That's cool. You know, the cool thing is you're not going to be bored if you try it out yourself and try to comprehend things yourself and try all these different methods. You're not going to be bored, at least. And the methods that I do, they're easy to pick up. Everything I do is like very easy to pick up and there's no downsides. So I just don't see it. Until I become popular, I cannot be tested for like my flaws. I just simply don't have flaws, right? I'm not flawed because I am poor or unpopular. I am opposite of flawed. Being poor and unpopular puts you in a position where everything you do is correct, is how it's supposed to be. Everything you can come up with is correct. If people dislike me, but I'm poor and I want to kill them, it's correct. It's okay. It's not legal, but if I can get away with it, it's correct thing to do. All right? So whenever I can get away with a kill, I won't think about it. I'll just take one. Thank you very much. This is how bad it is, all right? So when I said, it's probably worse than you thought, yes. People are allowed to kill as long as they can get away with it. Better be poor, though. You know, because you have a lot to lose. So we just went to an extreme and we're like, oh, this is actually allowed. It's not legal. It's morally allowed, though. You know, you're still going to be running from the cops, from the coppers, bro. But if your pockets are empty, you're going to run away from them, actually. You're going to find a way out. And jail is not really that bad. You know, you got to take your fucking chances at that point. And I get free adrenaline for spitting that truth into the people. Because life is pretty fucking bad and complicated. If you just put me in jail, like I am technically in jail because I need to socialize, I need to build a community and all that shit. I need to do my things. I know it doesn't align with the time, but just like fucking... If we just use enough resources, we can bend time and space if we want to. We can have a little bit of a 2 somewhere here and over here. You know, we can bend things. I hope. And anything is possible. For me, it's always the idea that anything is possible. We simply haven't invented that thing. But if we just like flow with the time, of course I'm gonna have this feeling. When I'm talking to like other people, I will have the feeling of like, well, the way to beat boredom is to use technology and try and make sure that you're financially safe. You know, so you're not enslaved in any way. And then you follow up with the trendiest thing that's going on. This is like the normal principles you can follow. And when you follow these normal principles, the clock of humanity opens up immediately. It's not even a question. There's the thing that keeps changing the most. So YouTube changed into TikTok. if you have noticed that, the thing that everyone is struggling with, the thing that only a handful of people, I mean, or like a half a population don't even know how bad it is to like not have technological savvy or understanding. I don't know. Is savvy a fucking word? Because I know people can be savvy. Savvy? Fuck yeah, it's a word now. What? Give me a fucking break. Savvy with a double V. What the fuck is that shit? I will not use the word then. Fucking what the fuck, man? So annoying. And then there's the social aspect of like, you always have to be a real human being. You can't just like follow the rules to gain nothing out of it. Like, you have to do a win-win situation every single time when something is presented. So, you know, a normal thing that I've heard, and I have to like represent the same thing. So one person gets killed or 5 people get killed, but you have to put in the effort to push the track over here. I mean over here, because like it's going here. All right, it's going here, but you have to somehow like push this here. Would you actually do it? But the problem is like too complicated. It's too weird. But the way you have to think about this problem is that you have control over the context to some extent. You can like mess things around, because in a social environment, no one actually understands this problem because this shit never fucking happened. So you have all the power to create the context to be a superhero that saves all these 5 people and be their friend, or try to make a friend out of all these 5 people. Basically, saving 5 people is better because now you have 5 chances to make a friend, I would say, unless you know these 5 people and they're fucking assholes. So of course they die, you know, and you just have a good laugh, you know, with these 5 people. And also, if they're strapped in, after you save them, you can still test if they're good people and if you like them, or if you're just gonna wait for another train. This is an amazing moral problem, because the moment you pick up the context, you're like, holy shit, I have so much power. That is the way you have to think about problems. If you truly like are a rich person and not just a type of Andrew Tate, I would say, a type of alpha male or alpha garbage or alpha hoe, I would say, alpha hole. Omega hole. Holy shit. You know, a hoe is just a hole without an L, because it would be too good if you had an L, bro. Like, it would be too good. Like, you'd be very difficult to identify. You're just a hole? That would be utility. Hoe is like fucking garbage. Alright? That you have to deal with emotionally. After you get kind of connected to them. So what Andrew Tate is like obsessed in doing is just playing the role of like the biggest guy imaginable. But he's not that big, because he has to split his attention into like multitude of things. Like, if anything goes wrong, if his house of cards goes wrong, his hoes just eat him alive, probably. I don't care how many knives you have and how many bodyguards you have, you're just gonna get eaten. Alright? During sex or something. It's like the easiest thing. The knife is only gonna cut you into pieces. It's like, I'm sorry, bro. Hoes, not gonna make you safe or rich, unfortunately. Just attached to holes. Great. You couldn't fucking learn in school when they were teaching masturbation. You didn't fucking learn that in school, didn't you? Now you have hoes and a lot of money and a lot of wasted potential to be like a nice person. Absolute. This is why just the population in general just hates Andrew Tate. And of, I don't know. I can't wait to see what he says. But like, I generally hate Mr. Beast too. But it's his teammate. We can just, summon room, load room, rug. But it's his teammate, so I have to be nice to him. Oh, Andrew Tate just got kind of knocked out a little bit. Very nice. Smudge got knocked out, which is not very nice. It's because of the purity meter. Justin got trimmed, I believe. He should have been. Doesn't look like it, though. It's kind of weird. Paul, open Paul. Alright. Fair enough. Mr. Beast shields. So when I talk about Andrew Tate, I have to, like, now attach it to Mr. Beast instantly. It's not gonna protect him, unfortunately. The reason why I summon Andrew Tate is he tried to solve this problem, and it's just pathetic, right? But of course, I'm moving at full speed. I understand, like, I have enough context to put context into here and to extract even more power, just like a domino effect of the power of context. We still haven't talked about rich people because we need to be rich with context to be able to break them down and destroy them. Just because I destroyed Andrew Tate's type of mentality of like, oh, look at this rich person. You must understand. We're talking about dealing with boredom. Andrew Tate still haven't solved it, all right? He still has to go around, bounce around from podcast to podcast to just show how fucking educated he is as a person, how much he cares about all kinds of little things. He still has to bounce around and just socialize, basically, in the most fucking awkward way because he still has a lot of juice flowing around that everyone wants, just don't know how to fucking grab it, don't know how to fucking shut the door and just like delete him from, the game. We don't know. All right. My fantasy of just people dying and disappearing is just like opening up, and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to be part of Illuminati, bro. Shut it down. Shut it down. But it's great as long as you like don't move around, like nobody cares. No one's gonna create a situation where you can actually just disappear. And even if there is a possibility for you to disappear, it's still too complicated. Government would really want you to disappear. Businesses would want you to disappear if you have learned their tricks or whatever. You're just spreading your information all the way around. Like, people just, a lot of people would want me to disappear, but they just don't know where I am and what I'm doing exactly and how bad am I gonna be as an explosive. How many trading centers can I destroy? They just don't know yet until they start falling down. The skyscrapers start falling down, and I'm like, I just farted, by the way, So I don't care how rich you are when a skyscraper can just fall down. You build it, you use a fucking $1 billion building your skyscraper, and it just falls down like a sand castle. You just you got played, bro. But it can be corrupted and destroyed in so many different ways. Right? You have to be very careful where you spend your goddamn money. And the first thing you look up to, again, is the clock of humanity, bro. Put that thing together, and you're like, well, it says everything all the time. So it's like you ask it, how the fuck do I spend money? It says the first thing, well, socialize. spend it on social things. You can even fucking enslave human beings right now. Oh wait, you can because the government is gonna fucking step in and that's illegal now. Well, fuck me, man. Now we have to socialize to fucking dethrone the government because freedom. You know, money is supposed to represent free trade. You know, as long as we understand what we're signing up for, you know, what we're gonna get, the government simply has to like make sure that the contract is safe, that the contract itself is safe, that our agreements are safe. And we can also opt out of those agreements as well, that the contract can be just broken easily as well. That's all the government has to fucking ensure, which is not easy to do. So the government just decided of like, well, fuck, we're just gonna add so many rules because I don't know how to make agreements safe. But that's all they have to do. Government safety system needs to simply ensure safety of agreements of how we spend the money. If we get scammed, we should be able to, hey, government, kick his ass. Kick the fucking ass of this and that and this for those. We just complain a little bit and the government fucking just wrecking ball downs of fucking, you know, a business whenever they feel like it, whenever they feel like there's a lot of complaints, and the government doesn't want to just disappear. So let's fucking wrecking ball the fucking shit out of a company. You know, I ate too many McDonald's today and I'm like, shit, I shouldn't be spending time in McDonald's. I need to spend time somewhere else. Just send a complaint to fucking government. They send military out and McDonald's disappears just like that with a delete button. All right, that's an extreme version. Probably gonna still happen though. McDonald's gonna declare war against the government, bro. I can already feel it. No, it's just so stupid. Instead, we have to suffer. If this gets corrupted, like our societies gets corrupted, and we start wearing t-shirts that say Sprite. Asians can do it as a meme, but the moment we fucking become labeled all over the place, we're just playing Idiocracy now. I should just honestly like watch the movie Idiocracy and just relay a lot of information. But I already have a fucking channel that does that. There's already a YouTuber that does that. It's called Moon. And that's scary because like Moon is too like generic of a name, right? Like it's so generic. He already has 1 million subscribers. It is scary, bro. This guy knows too much. Too much. And in comparison, he still just knows like 10% of what I know. Yeah. But he's very active, so you know we're gonna be toe to toe to each other. Because like you can know like 10% of what I know, but if you multiply that by 10 times with the presentation and the subscriptions and the monetary value, I mean this Moon is in fact real, and I'm scared. So I don't know who this guy is, but like. All this material is fucking fascinating to me. And when I said like this Idiocracy, I'm like, I was shocked. Like this guy fucking found Idiocracy and just put it as a video to watch. So now you can just fully immerse yourself into that idea. I'm not sure where it is. There's the Truman Show. I don't know, man. It wasn't that long time ago. Here it is. Tried to warn you. And I'm like, shit, like, okay. It's a movie that I've sort of watched, but not really because it was on TV. It's an old movie, but like it still fucking holds up. It's crazy. Still think about... Well, a lot of people actually bring it up as a reference. But I bring it up as a reference right now because, like, people actually like wear t-shirts, they're just labeled with advertisements because that pays you money or whatever. I don't know. Or maybe they're free or they're cheaper. Cool. This is where, when corporations become just corrupt society. But it's not corporations' fault, it's our fault. We have to be like strong enough to like build ourselves up and communicate. Like I have community information, like very, very smart ideas. But as long as I don't just crawl and create a cult out of myself, it's all fine. It's all handy dandy, bro. Because I'm just trying to be social. But when I'm like trying desperately to be social, I understand like I'm doing across the internet is pretty tough. It still tells the story of like I'm a scaredy cat or whatever. I haven't like really developed. I'm just a fucking gamer that just realized socializing is pretty important. But this is where I would spend my money. If I had a lot of money, the first thing I was like asking when I was doing Mr. Beast versus the Ring of Fire, I was testing like Mr. Beast idea of like, where would I spend money, right? So I was like listening carefully and let them whisper ideas. And the places where I would spend money is just like socializing, just to play games with the fucking dudes. Just to see how they react to like different crazy things. The cheerleader team, I believe. Then the fucking girl cookies, the Girl Scouts with cookies or other cool things to sell, door to door, basically. Things that sort of like already exist in America, by the way. The vending machines, they're sort of like kind of mini arcades. Games could be like referring to some kind of applications to play with. What was the last one? I don't remember. I think it was the Smosh one. I don't know. But yeah, I was entertaining this question, and because I spent time, by the way, guys, I have sort of a half of an answer. But the real answer is like, America's culture probably has most of those social answers figure out on where do you spend money figuring out, as long as you don't look at greedy people and stupid rich people. So here we are, my friends. We're slowly drilling into this whole thing. Why being rich is bullshit. But being rich is bullshit, we're going to just find a pin and everything is just going to fall on top of these rich people. We're just looking for a simple pin of like, yeah, I guess you're going to be able to fight boredom, but the acceleration of how much money you have to spend is going to skyrocket. And again, if you have anxiety, your spending inflates. Sometimes you spend money that you don't actually spend. So you just like put money into a vault and you just die. So all the money just gets spent. You have to give it away to your family. And giving things away to your family for free, that's a crazy death sentence, I would say. Like, holy shit. If your family is waiting for your death, excuse me. Holy shit, man. Why the fuck would you set things up so your family actually is waiting for your death? You're holding on to so many things. Like, you have to like give things away while you're still alive. Slowly give things away. And the things that you have left with, because you're slowly losing power as you're growing old. You just slowly can do less and less things. And the moment you die, you basically have nothing. You just have a small room and just doing small things, and nothing really matters anymore. But you're supposed to be happy because you completed life. 100% completion. Congratulations, bro. So There's no support. You're not supposed to be put in a position where your family is waiting for you to die and just to take your things. You have to live your life and like distribute those things while you're living your life. You're not supposed to hold on to like your property and all that shit. And I think a lot of stuff is going on like this. There's a lot of rich people there, but they're also old and they're holding on to a lot of bullshit that they don't actually use. You know, that's the biggest bullshit of all time. Just holding on to things that you're not actually using. And that's it, bro. They're not useful to you somehow. You have things you don't really use. And the way we're gonna know if there are a bunch of rich people who have things they don't really use, the way we're gonna find this out, we just create a new currency and we have to like slowly transfer, you know, the poor people and the rich people into this like new currency. We just have to slowly transfer. What will happen? Well, you have to show the things that you have. Just show it. Just get because we will block the dollar to, you know, the thing exchange. You have to like show, give us things that you have bought. Give us information. Then we're gonna give you money for information of who you are as a person and what you bought. How deep does the rabbit hole go until we're satisfied? And the more you stag, the more we give you money because like fuck, you spend so much time. So you can give us stories, you can make things up, but like, yeah. As you can see, I'm sitting in a throne right now. I'm creating a new currency, way of thinking, just a new generation of behavior, I guess. I can't create people. Because again, I'm smart. Like, I'm always going to be ahead of the fucking curve. I've noticed when a good channel showed up on YouTube, and I'm like, shit, I have to subscribe. I have to follow this dude. Even though he still doesn't know what he's talking about. He just knows the trendy things and the scary things and just combine them together without like diving into conspiracy theories. And that's it. That's the whole job. It's not that fucking deep. But yeah. So I have this currency of like you know, influence. And you can only be influential if you actually done something in life, if you hold something in your fucking heart and you have expression. You can only be influential through self-expression. If you have a color of Bugatti, that's going to be influential for like 2 minutes. All right, you're going to show me your car and I'm going to be like, okay, next. Thank you, next. You know, you're going to be influential for 2 minutes. And that would cost you $100,000. I mean, that would cost you a Mr. Beast video, I would say. You know, Mr. Beast video is just basically built on this sort of like fucking stupid influence where he doesn't care how much money he spends on videos as long as more people watch his videos, you know? YouTube has unlocked Mr. Beast videos. Now, he just needs more views. Which is sort of like, you know, hand-in-hand progress on YouTube. But at some point, YouTube is not supposed to value views that much. And also we're getting numb of like ads. So they have to reinvent ads. And the moment they reinvent ads, everything changes. So the way YouTube works is not stable. YouTube is in a downwards trend. People care less about ads. but they don't necessarily care less to be less of a consumer and spend less money. All right, they would spend the money. They would, as long as it keeps them not bored, keeps them entertained. So YouTube has to like find different ways to like monetize, and slowly YouTube will find a change for monetization. And I have to like keep an eye on this fucking thing, because if I don't jump on board on this train, it's gonna hurt at very least. All right, it's gonna be a big disappointment of like, but you're a YouTube CEO, you should have been on the fucking board on this fucking train. Because there's a lot of fucking there. Am I right? Yeah, I'll smell it from a mile away if there's a change coming, because everyone is going to be talking about that. But I have to, like, keep it in check. I have to really, really know this. The monetization change means that everything will change, and Mr. Beast is not going to be the way to go. All right? Just getting more views is not going to get you there anymore. But I'm like surprised, like, is still for 1,000 views we still get the same $3 or whatever? And that's pretty crazy. Until I reach monetization, I will not know for sure, because until I test my videos, until I put them to a test, I will not get the full vibe, full context. So, you know, subscribe, watch my videos, guys. There's incentive. I will give you guys more data once I breach monetization. I need 500 subscribers. I think I almost have enough watch time already. Like 1,000? I don't know. We can... Yeah. Money's not supposed to be an incentive so big that everyone fucking jumps on board because of money. It's a terrible incentive. Even Mr. Beast doesn't, you know, agree that I'm doing it for the money. Like, he just doesn't want to do that. That's why his videos are so much better than anyone else's. That's why he's beating the competition. He just uses money as like, oh, fuck it, like, just let it burn. Other people need it more. Other people want to, you know, do a job and earn their money so badly. And that's another thing that keeps Mr. Beast relevant. Mr. Beast is relevant because of all those NPCs willing to get paid by helping him. You know, and even that economy is going to slowly go down. Like, yes, we need money, but at some point, we no longer will need ads or money. You know, at some point, we're just going to, the government is going to just pull the trigger as well. So not just monetization can change, but the government can just pull the trigger and be like, oh, here's some free money for the poor people. And all of a sudden, poor people are going to pull off and just do their own thing. And maybe even start making communities or some bullshit like that. Because we no longer have to, like, worry about working and stuff. You must understand that things can change considerably a lot just because people are more safe. You know, safe to just do their things, the things that they care about. And I would be empowering them. But right now, they don't resonate with freedom at all. You know, they just have obligations to the employer. And that's it. It's just, that's it. People feel too much of an NPC where they have to follow rules of their own. Basically crippling their ability to interact with other people across the internet. It doesn't matter. Somehow they're just so every person is crippled. You barely can tell if they have hands or not. You know, like half of the population probably don't even have hands anymore. They barely typed a fucking comment with their feet and they have left because they can't possibly type anymore to explain themselves. Some people might have one finger, you know, one finger. Holy shit. I'll impress with that, but mostly just feet. So that's all you get on the internet is just pictures of feet. That's why they're so sexy, bro. Holy shit, you have feet, though. Oh, let me see those feet, though. Because hands don't exist.
Monetization requirements are going down.
Thank you for not making an April Fool's joke.
Now need 500 subscribers, free public uploads over the last 90 days, and then 3,000 watch hours over the last year.
3,000! Holy shit! It's possible, though. It's possible. I have 1.2. So by the time I have 500 subscribers, I will have the watch hours as well. Whew. That last one is pretty tough, man. The subscriber count is going to go up and up, you know. The watch hours, like, I really have to, like, break through, like, 3 times more. Crank out 3 times more hours. I can squeeze more hours here, but now I'm at the crossroads against a fucking wall. Like a literal wall that I can't break through. The 150 watch hours, I literally just don't know how to improve my content past this point. It's really difficult. I bought a new microphone during fucking May or something. June or May or something like that. I bought new equipment, nothing moved. Nothing. Nothing changed. I changed the microphone settings, nothing changed, bro. People didn't respond to higher quality. This is crazy to me. You know, so breaking this fucking 3,000 watch hours is going to be a disaster for me. And getting to 500 subscribers is going to take another year or 2, which is insanity. So I have to break through using rewind again. Just try my special weapon. And I do have, you know, plenty of gas to do that. Also, of course, make shorter videos. People gonna be clicking more on that shit. But again, let's not forget, there's competition. It's not gonna be easy. It's actually getting increasingly more difficult. Because, again, this is supposed to become a social place eventually. But YouTube has to also, like, defend itself from allowing that to happen. Because only, like, very special kind of social people who are, like, very high quality people can be social. Everyone else have to be kicked out from trying to do that. So when I upload a lot of videos, I'm allowed to do that because I'm a high quality person. You know, I literally have to label myself as YouTube CEO, like one of the highest quality people you will ever find in terms of what type of content I'm making and how much I'm trying to help this community or structure. It's a community. It's a community. It's a second generation, so it's a community. It used to be a society. It used to just be like, if you're capable of uploading videos, that's pretty crazy. Show me what you got, bro. Anything would go. But now we have an expectation of what a YouTube video actually is. And it's a little bit trickier than when it used to be a society, bro. Standard is just trickier. So now that Mr. Beast can actually break that mold, which is kind of scary because the next step, the next generation would be very different from what I can actually master naturally. Telling me that the moment Mr. Beast falls down, but like the whole generation has to like clock through. I could still master this, you know. despite 2 layers that have to be broken. Like, number 3 has to be broken, and number 2 has to be broken in a natural fucking way. So I can, like, hire Ariana to fucking break this one for me, and then I do this somehow naturally. Just power creep on that shit. Because this goes like that. Yeah, there's more matrices and it gets more complicated than that. But it's fair. Because this is the highest tier, so it aligns with the 4. Super simple to me. I use colors sometimes. You know, the highest tier, legendary, golden, I guess just powerful. I don't know. I still couldn't come up with a name here for the stupid green stuff. So if I don't use numbers, it actually looks quite cleaner, right? But yeah, I have a perfect opportunity to take over YouTube, but I have to like be able to destroy this in my own environment so it doesn't, you know, monetize me. It doesn't, because like as a smart person, I'm not supposed to be a sellout to anything at all. I'm not supposed to buy things or test things, none of that shit. All right, nothing monetary has to be happening here. I'm not supposed to even invest into my videos unless it's absolutely necessary. You know, unless someone just sells me an idea, then absolutely. Or not really an idea, or I can sell them my idea, because I don't want my ideas. I want someone else to do it. So I would just like give them money if they execute an idea. I would reward them. But it's not really a monetary thing where I'm buying something. I'm just getting rid of my stuff. Now, donations are welcome, of course. Just a cool little thing. But yeah, no, it's just the general idea that I'm not to be a sellout, because that just ruins the whole thing. The whole career is ruined by just me earning too much money. I'm just fully supposed to be engaged into helping people and understanding problems and just solving that. And that's exciting enough for me. Everyone else can just pitch in and use money to just, you know, give me cool things. I would just enable other people to enjoy interacting with me, you know. So earning too much money would clog up ability for other people to spoil me, you know. And it's just like, it's a very important thing that I'm not supposed to like clog up. Like, anyone should be able to send me a little fucking tiny gift. I have to give instructions, first of all, so your gift doesn't get filtered out into Africa. But, yeah. You want to fucking spoil YouTube CEO? The fucking Santa Claus in the middle of the world? Here you go. I'll give you instructions, no problem. But yeah, I'm going through some weird training, isn't it? In my mind, in my heart, my entire fucking body just going through training. And it's almost like inviting me to go full force, to always pump out these videos, because I feel bad consuming other people's content. It just terrifies me. It's painful to me. But let's dial things down, like. But I couldn't really like find completely like absent people, you know, the people that really just don't have anything besides being rich, you know, because you don't know. You have to like investigate fully and understand the situation. And I haven't bumped into these people who just brag about having things, except with the witch moments. The witch seemed like she had a lot of fucking money. She just spoiled herself with until she didn't, until she just had to live outside every daytime, which is kind of fucking like, why? Why do you have this problem just emerging out of nowhere? And people are asking you to move out when it's impossible, and you can't fucking explain to them that it's fucking impossible. You're gonna fucking die if you ask me too many times to be homeless, basically. You know, all of, like, if you kick your child out into the streets, again, we go back to square one. The child has the right to just go rampant against you. Like, where the fuck are you gonna get solutions if you get kicked out into the streets, man? Out of your home. Where the fuck are you gonna find a solution? The solution has to stem from the support system, you know, not to be leeched, but, you know, because the witch, I still call her a witch, she does look like a fucking leech. I don't know whose the problem is it. All of a sudden, it becomes vague, you know. So, you know, you have a family unit, then you have a witch getting kicked out slowly. She did traveling, and I was like worried. In the Instagram, I was like, okay, is it meaningful to you that you're traveling and wasting all this money? And now she's getting kicked out of fucking... Okay. The stepdad steps in and just kicks her out, and she can still stay here and sleep inside, which is amazing. Wow. But like, we need privacy and stuff. We need some fuckery going on instead of a family. But she herself is just a broken fucking person that doesn't even respect me. Someone who tries to step in and just fix things. Like, oh, no respect needed. I'm disrespected by everyone. It's like no one has problems. But as I'm showing you, the downward trend is that there's gonna be more problems though. And I'm gonna buy more popcorn to just see how you fucking deal with those problems without me. You know? Am I really gonna be that tip of the iceberg where it's just like, I'm not gonna be respected until that last fucking moment, you know? Until like everyone is dying because we're summoning demons and dragons to fucking steal souls. I don't know, man. Where the games don't fucking feel fake anymore. When the fantasy world just becomes real and everyone's having sex with each other and turning into fucking demon babies. Or just dogs come alive, just animals starts fucking ripping your heads off. You know, bears start roaming around out of nowhere. Just until that happens, am I right? Then I can step in and just start talking to people of like, well, the zombie apocalypse are at 99%, we can stop now, right? I finished my popcorn, basically. I don't want this to happen, unfortunately. And you can't just look back into the history of like, well, we survived this long, so humanity continues surviving, unfortunately. Obviously, I don't want to scare anyone. But there's always that chance. And it doesn't look like, for me personally, like, it's gonna be a fun ride. But I stay positive because my life is pretty good. So I have nothing to complain about. I feel like a rich person, you know. So, but if you're a rich person for too long, so this is like the biggest downfall, right? And we have to mark it as like, oh, oops, moment. If you are rich for too long, you'll get hit really hard. Because you're just gonna turn off a few switches in your brain that says like, well, as long as I have money, there's nothing to be afraid of. You're gonna just say that one fucking line to yourself. As long as I have X, there's no fear. You know. The problem is, this equation is wrong. And you're gonna be feeling that at some level of like approaching real problems because the downfall. At some point you're going to be like, oh, oh, no, that doesn't help. That doesn't work. I'm trying to like pinpoint to people of like, nothing will work until it works together in a complicated manner. And you just allow me to like, let's sign a fucking contract. Not with the devil. I am a Satan though. All right. But I'll make sure you're safe and happy and not bored. And most importantly, not fucking problematic to everyone. I'll make sure of that. But no one respects me enough to sign a contract, which is fine. All right. Now you can just click a button, subscribe, watch my videos, see the thumbnails flow. I'll be satisfied. That's the minimum requirement, because the minimum requirement is defined by society itself. You know, what is the highest success rate, right? So if you become my friend and all of a sudden you're the happiest person ever, that will be the requirement. I will constantly show you guys the happy customer. You know, I'll constantly advertise myself using the best customer that I had, the happiest one that still sticks around and does backflips out of happiness, bro. That would be the default thing that I'm expecting people to do. Just get up to his fucking level, basically. But, well, it wouldn't be the average, of course. But you have to be slightly above the average to be appealing to look at, right? So we have unlocked a candy, basically. Society defines... I have to think about it really carefully. The average happiness of having something. You know, how happy you are if you receive a fucking smartphone of like, oh shit, I'm very happy now because I can do this and this and this and that. All right, that's cool. So having something, a connection with me is also a thing that you can have, right? You must not forget that as well. You can have relationships, connections, and agreements. And connection is not a relationship, my friends. Relationship is more like someone an equal basis or an establishment or an agreement to spend time together a certain amount of time every now and then. Connection is something that you know you can connect to a person when a problem happens. You know, you can talk about something, some kind of problem. So I'm a connection. I want to be a connection. Agreements is where you just work for someone for a certain amount of time. You can establish a very obvious agreement. We just keep showing up. I'll just work from 9 to 5, you know. The most easiest agree. Be aware, again, businesses are not supposed to be simple and filled with expectations. Like, business is a bumpy ride. So anyone who can give you a 9 to 5 job is going to give you a degenerate version of capitalism. Capitalism is about spending as much time thinking about work until you have enough money or a flow of money, until you have enough passive income to retire. That's it. That's all you think about, is how the fuck do I retire? I already have enough passive income to retire, magically enough. How crazy is that? I didn't even thought it was possible, you know. So my mom is gonna get a pension on top of being weird. Wow. And I'm just gonna leech that until she doesn't like me anymore, because she turns into a fucking monster. And I already have a sense that this is happening, but until I have any options, I kill monsters. All right. I don't negotiate. I just kill monsters. So she will have to fucking bow down to the power of Monster Hunter. You know, we just gonna trim some edges here and there. And she's still gonna be a very, very nice, not monster. You know, almost a monster, but not really. And gonna be very beneficial to me. So I have passive income. Congratulations, me. We can pop some happy birthday gifts. I'm just mixing everything together. All the happy things. And blow some candle goblins. Here we go. For happy wishes and stuff. I wish for a Merry Christmas. I'm just throwing happy things, all right? Hopefully something sticks. A clown. Let's throw a clown. Everyone likes clowns, right? So yeah, now I have a just infinite passive income. Like, what the fuck do I do with my life? Until I get threatened somehow. Which is kind of happening, and it's kind of painful. The renovation thing, now I have to like scramble for 20K fucking dollars. Just to cover renovation. Like, what the fuck? The fuck do you want from me? Why? I don't want the fucking renovation. It's not gonna help me in any way. It's not a transaction that actually fucking helps me. It's crazy. I don't care about rusty pipes. I don't care about the appearance of my fucking home. The balcony seems pretty sturdy. There's nothing that's gonna else change besides heating. We're already overheating. We don't need to fucking turn a house into a fucking furnace. So I'm like, what the fuck renovation is supposed to do? My passive income is threatened by renovation. It's not a big of a threat because my mom just found a fucking ace in the hole, basically. She's almost getting a fucking pension. Half a pension or whatever. She's almost old enough. Isn't that crazy? But, you know, that's not retirement. Retirement is just having enough money. Retirement is having enough passive income. First capitalism problem presented to you. The first social problem, again, the problems stack together. All right. So the first problem is school. How do you survive? You know, you're in a social environment, put in a very like accelerated environment. School is not real. Social environment, school is just a fake accelerated environment. You're just being forced in and interact and learn things. You're just kind of forced to do that. And just the government is there to see what happens when you do that. Are you a good person? Are you going to fall down and cry about it? You're going to ask teachers to help you because you're being bullied or some bullshit like that? There's a lot of questions that has to be answered, and school starts the whole process of you turning into a human being and ask the survival situation. I could have gotten into a lot of trouble if I just you know, opened my mouth too many times in the wrong situations. But the craziness doesn't fucking stop there. It's like everyone has so many superpowers. Oh, wow. Well, let's fucking level up. You know, so as you can see, we're putting more and more pressure, and we're going to break the fucking rich people in half. I just put a, you know, right now it's the new trend of planking, and I took that person who's doing planking, and we're just going to break him in half because he's rich. I've decided, all right? So That's how much context we need. We're sort of like still running around and threatening like there's going to be a change in monetization. You're not going to be rich off YouTube anymore. If you're rich for too long, you might actually break. So change your minds. You're watching this video for a very long time now. Double check if you spend your time wisely. If you're not like an angry, bitter person of like, what's next you gonna fucking say? Or just like put me in the background and just like giving me watch time. I appreciate it. But you're giving the same problem to the next person. And if you don't like the video, you have to like steer it away from society, please. You can't just fucking allow me to infect everyone. You know, that's not how it's supposed to work. I need nature to take place. It's the most powerful thing because it will take a natural form of what it's supposed to do and how it's supposed to carry me in all the situations and how I'm supposed to feel empowered and all that shit. So unless I'm doing it in a natural way, I'm not going to succeed. That's my element. That's what I know the best. Adaptation, no matter what the fuck happens. As long as I don't have to move around. As long as I don't have to change myself. Just have to adapt my skills. Right? So the next level, after you learn survival and how weird that can fucking be at school, and it's like you feel like you escaped, right? There is no escape. There's only stacking on top. So if you already feel like you escaped and you're like the real world, but now it's the money world, right? And now I've learned to do this when I do the dollar sign, so it doesn't get in the way and like make the S complicated. I guess I would like something like this as well. No? Well, I can always do that. But whatever. No, I do need the dollar sign to be full. So, now you're learning a completely different system. Alright? Now you're learning that all your problems gonna go away if you just have money. Back in the survival time, all your problems gonna go away if you just shut the fuck up and do nothing. Which is a fucking trick that you learn in school. You learn a trick. You shut up, do nothing, and listen to your teachers. It's all a fucking lie that you should have been unlearning immediately after you passed school. You pass school and it's like you have to unlearn those things and not follow the school's principles anymore. But if you kept doing that, you just turn into a fucking NPC and you lost the game. So you know what happens next, my friends. We're gonna talk about rich people and how they lost the game. What do rich people turn into is the question. Because, I'm sorry, bro. Did we just graduated, guys? Because it feels like that thing that I received from Taylor Swift, you know, those golden boots. Maybe that was a graduation gift, actually. And we're going to the next step in the process. While I already left people behind, they already showed their face, and all of them, without exception, pretty much, they're just NPCs. Maybe my friends and some other dudes that kind of like tangled in my system, they realized they're powerful, but they're still tangled in my system. They still credit me as the mastermind of why they graduated school properly in the first place. You know, I'm kicking them back into the NPC mode or back to school. You know, you still can graduate. You just have to stop being this little piece of shit and pretend that after you graduate school, you have actually learned the right things. You know, In school, there's only a handful of things you can learn, and everything else is a trick, you know, is actually just a trick to fucking fool you. And if you learn the wrong things, you're not gonna fucking graduate properly. So now, the question is, how do you graduate the capitalism, boys? I don't think I've, again, fully done that, because have I truly reached freedom? I still have to like go through renovation thing and figure out what it is. So do we do it now? I'll just pretend that I've done it. All right. I like doing that. I like to be pretentious and move ahead of time. But you must understand, this is not reality. I still have to like complete this thing. I barely like stepped out of school and like realized that everyone else behind me are NPCs. They're useless people. Useless people that just good cogs in the machine, very bad to interact with, you know, or build communities with, or to actually treat as normal human beings of like they have matured, they have learned life skills, actually they have stuff to talk about. It's impossible to do that. All right, these are useless human beings. They can be left alone and you will not feel a difference. All right. But as we step forward, again, we are detaching a huge portion of society. I don't know. I don't think it's 90% of people, because a lot of people can actually learn from their mistakes eventually. I'll tell you, we're detaching at least by half. At least half of the fucking population gets snapped with the Thanos snap. Of like, you didn't fucking graduate, snap. Oh, snap, bitch. You know? Because the wave of snaps just keeps happening. You know, in this video, I already did a fucking snap. And I told a lot of fucking people that you didn't actually graduate school because you were dumber when you came out of school. You became a dumber person. As a child, you were fucking innocent and cool to interact with. As a grown-up, you're a piece of shit. So you have to unlearn the shit that you have learned in school because it made you dumber. It spent your time properly because that's what they get. They get value for spending your time because we have too much time. We're too rich on time. All right? But we have to spend it carefully. So you can always go back to school and actually fucking finish it. And I can give you the hints of all the bullshit episodes are hints of like things you probably fucking didn't fucking learn because they're still in the world bullshitting around, and you can hide it from me, you know, hide the bullshit from me. Then you have done your job. You actually have to interact with me too and just prove to me that the bullshit is not between us anymore, you know, and you just light me up of like, oh shit, we're going to solve this really fast. And even if we solve just between two of us, I'm already like halfway there, you know. I already killed Horcrux, you know. I already snapped the evil in half. Like, the power level that I'm fucking dealing with is insane, bro. The shit that I'm wielding is insane. And it literally doesn't matter how many things you buy, as long as they're useless. So what the rich people turn into is the question. What kind of monstrosity do they turn into? I really want to know. Because the NPC is just a simple consumer, right? NPC is a useless little shit. Well, not exactly, but kind of yes. Kind of just a simple consumer. Is terrifying to fucking interact with these people. Because right now people still looking into the internet as like a new thing, as a novelty. I have a smartphone, I can tune into all these different things. I'm just a consumer, boys. Okay, cool. So in order to master like rich people and actually break them in half, we will need a lot of effort to even comprehend what the fuck does that mean. What does it mean to be rich? What do they do? Rich and famous, is that what we're looking for? Because again, YouTubers' generation has moved up. Well, this is the movie generation, I would say. The television generation. But they have left this thing behind. You know, the thing that now I'm holding in my hands and I'm like, shit, this is mine now. The thing that TVs were novel for or known for, they're in my hands now. So the idea of like becoming rich and famous is kind of here, but it's also tied with the community label, right? It's tied with this. So if we can combine all of this information together, we will understand the concept. So obviously the first thing we have to understand is, how do we graduate capitalism? We graduate capitalism by building skills, first of all, and monetizing those skills and creating a passive income. But sometimes you can just get passive income, apparently, in magical ways. We just tried. You tried to monetize your skills and you were called stupid for doing so. You know, people just don't even bother anymore. It's like, oh, well, take money, you know, and you get passive income. And all of a sudden, the skill is not to learn skills. The skill is to survive with the money that you get. Turn passive income into like a stable income, of where like you truly can stabilize the income stream that you have, and your expenses don't actually grow. Even with the inflation, you can still squeeze yourself in. So you have to like really value the money stream, especially when the inflation is a thing constantly. There's also like a lot of death traps to your money. Almost every single investment is a death trap. Most NFTs just went down to zero, and people might try and buy them up because they're so worthless, but you still have to like find a use to them. The novelty of just owning something is non-existent. The NFT has to be useful for something. Otherwise, it's pointless. You know, while people are asking a bunch of questions, the price of things is going to go up. But after they stopped asking questions, the novelty weared off, and the reasons may not have been found. There's only speculation for reasons. It's the reasons that's going to create money. So once you realize that the basic skill is reasoning, is that you have to do reasonable things, and you have to constantly ask if whatever I'm doing is actually reasonable in creating reasonable responses in the world, right? Even like right now, maybe I'm just getting pity money, you know, because I'm not getting like very good results necessarily, but I'm getting something that I'm satisfied with. You know, you don't have to like win people over, because like in order for me to move in real world, I have to actually get positive responses from people. I have to get people to approach me first to prove that they even exist. Otherwise, I have to make leaps of faith, which is impossible to do properly because I still have to put too much effort. What if I get rejected? You know, the leaps of faith just kind of not work. What if I intimidate a person? Then it's not a real leap of faith that would work with other people, or the relationship will break. So I have to make other people approach me instead, or sort of like meet in the middle if I'm desperate. I don't know. So in real life, it doesn't work, and in digital life, it doesn't work. Am I the problem? Or is graduation required for me to change my world? So there's a lot of fucking question marks, but I know for sure this place breeds rich people. This place breeds, or this generation breeds, exploitation. This is where the billionaires come out to play, you know, their game. So we have to look at already rich people and how toxic they are to the world to understand what the fuck's going on, right? The player, the gamer, the big G, the deranged player, basically. I would say these people are a headache to society. Not an NPC, but like a truly a headache. These people, when they express themselves, and they usually can't express themselves vocally still. Like NPCs, they just can't talk. They get really frustrated really fast. So if you look into an Elon Musk behavior, that is a fucking headache, bro. Fucking, but we need a really good name for this shit. All right, because Elon Musk is like the front runner of like achieving this ultimate label. Is the best graduate of graduate failure of tier 2 generation, you know. So there's a generation of survivors who just gave up and it's like, I can't survive, I need to depend on other people, I'm just going to be an NPC and listen to other people, other authorities. Okay, good, whatever, right? But if you truly want to live a life, you're not going to listen to other authorities. You have to like break through at some point and just do your thing and be proud of what you're doing. The moment you're not proud of what you're doing, you step down a little bit and ask a few questions and see if you can find an authority. If you can't find an authority, just still continue doing your fucking thing because nobody cares to even help you, to steer you the right way. So you must be doing everything right, as long as it works as well. So things have to work and have high esteem, right? Are we inventing west east? Don't tell me there's north and south, bro. Work esteem. What the fuck? You watch your step, man. Okay, so okay, I just lost my esteem. So what else can you have? Yeah, so if you're smart enough, you're going to get enough passive income to be able to retire. But if you don't retire and you start earning too much money, you're going to become a headache. We need to learn how to label these people. Again, this is weird. I just kind of got sucked into a fucking whirlpool, and it's kind of painful. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little bit painful. And whirlpool makes me suck into another whirlpool. Hopefully Hearthstone has no weird things, because Hearthstone is also a thing, just the same thing. It's greed. So yeah, these are greedy people. These are not G's. Top G, my friends, you are just a headache. Just a mirror image of a G. You just have power and influence because you really fucking wanted, not because you earned it. You just grabbed as much as possible from other people. Andrew Tate simply uses other people to become influential and rich. Meaning that if we just cut off his system of influence, of him using other people and recruiting people, he just dies very quickly. You know, no matter how many muscles he uses, he can't get that. He just goes back to survival NPC mode because he has nothing actually productive to talk about. He's just a fucking headache. You know, so I mean, I am on the edge of being a fucking headache myself. But again, I have to become rich, unfortunately. And if I switch my monetary system, I will kind of concede the ability to be poor, so I'm gonna be kind of scared. But because I follow rules, I respect a lot of things. So, in order to not be rich, respect people and rules that are cool and fun. And like unlock your ability to understand the world a little bit better, you know. So when I'm building this cluster of rules, this button game, it allows me to understand the world so much better because the world is this fucking complicated. It has tons of numbers just bouncing around. You keep summoning things in your mind and you think about different things. It's so cool. But nobody wants to acknowledge that, and I'm like, I guess I will not become rich then. And that's a good fucking thing. Thank you very much. You know. Now, I don't want to be rich, but everyone needs money, you know. Everyone needs money to be slightly happier. So I'm still not even in the level of like breaking through and start monetizing my content or being relevant. I'm still in a level of just being trashed and disrespected and just speed on, you know, as if I'm a fucking loser. As if I did absolutely nothing valuable at all. Like I found no confirmation of like importance that like I liberated a person or something. None of that happened. So it's just like it's painful. It's pretty fucking painful. I still haven't graduated because to some extent like people just have to be scammed now. And to some extent I would understand where Andrew Tate is coming from. It's just again, once you become rich, you can get consumed by your own unwillingness to accept the problems that truly exist. You know, once you detach from feeling general normie problems, you lose yourself. You know, you feel like, oh, as long as I have money, I will keep myself on the right track. But at some point you can get still enslaved. You can get tricked in another way, or just burned to a crisp, misused, or just robbed of your goods. I think Elon Musk is getting that justice served to him. Slowly and surely, a lot of people who are top tier, they're just going to go bankrupt. They go from top to bottom. Because a headache cannot fucking last very long, can it? You know, it gotta go down. Or you gotta switch strategies. The billionaires will keep on trying to switch, of course. But something like, you know, Steve Jobs, the inventor of fucking iPhone, just dies to cancer, bro. Like, excuse me, my friend, what happened? Too big of a headache to society? Just had to suffer from cancer instead, am I right? Cancer, to me personally, that's just the choice. That's just you being fucking stupid. You know, if I die from cancer, how will I feel like? I feel like, how would you fucking know if I died from cancer, bro? How would you fucking know? There's a bump in my neck, bro. Fuck that shit. We beat it up. You wouldn't know until I'm fucking 5 feet underground. You wouldn't know that I died from cancer. You know. Nothing from inside or outside is gonna kill me because I feel both planes of existence, I guess. The inner and out. internal and an external like plane of existence, right? If you don't feel your internal existence, then of course inventing crazy technologies is gonna be completely fine to you, but you will just die. If you don't feel external existence, then you will feel like, oh, there's space. We can go to space. We can go to the moon anytime. We can go to Mars, and we can create robots that take over the world and all that shit. Like, it's external, and we can do whatever we want, right? It's this infinite external world. And so, yeah, you can do anything to yourself internally, and you can do anything to yourself externally. But then you just die, you know, or you just go down to zero. There's a huge threat to your life. Like, Steve Jobs would have suffered every single day if he didn't die from cancer. Cancer is just a liberation from stupidity. All right, so you must understand the smartphones are called smartphones because they're for smart people and not for stupid people. Not because they will make you smarter. That's the requirement. My mom is not using a smartphone. She's using a radio. All right? She's using my smartphone to see pictures on a fucking radio. So she's not using a smartphone. All right? She just found two applications. They're completely different and separate from the overall functionality of a smartphone. To prove that you're smart, you just simply have to master a smartphone, but still be a normal human being, of course, but still operate within small smartphone bounds as a normal human being still, which will empower you tremendously. All right? We're in the technological fucking era where this stuff is like really powerful stuff. But, you know, rich people are still going to be your fucking headache. They're not going to allow you to just use a smartphone freely without any problems. But let's say I have actually graduated, I have this passive income, and sort of I kind of did. And potentially now I have to establish a form of control, right? I have to establish a title. I have to graduate a title. And I've talked about this for a long time because I've been trying to do this thing. But that doesn't mean, again, that I've graduated the money. But let's say I did, and I've learned that I would be a headache. Well, we're not going to talk about the title thing because we want to fucking laugh at the fucking headaches of the world. Let's see what Elon Musk did this week, you know? I just want to know, man. Also, let's finish this video. Well, I'll definitely fucking type Elon Musk as quickly as possible. What did you do this time, bro? How did you just stab your face this time?
Majority of you, at least to begin with, just want to make videos, flip a switch.
Yeah, it's just so weird. It's so weird the way monetization fucking works because YouTube is trying to be very, very clean to benefit advertisers. And just so fucking weird, man. Like, advertisers not supposed to worry where their ads show up. Like, how is that gonna fucking change things? How? That is the weirdest thing. You just put in the fucking money, just show my ads, give me profits. Why should they fucking worry so much? This is another just greedy fucking bullshit thing of trying to like censor people by disincentivizing them to make content. Some weird shit. And also you have to like break through this like stupid thing to like reach for $1. Would I receive $1, by the way? Probably. I mean, I would receive $5 for covering Sniper Wolf drama. That would be fucking fantastic. $5 for me this year. I'll buy a fucking 5 pieces of bread. Let's go. So yeah, this is a big question mark. This is something, but I'm carrying my mom into this, you know, we're kind of like in this together. Yeah, she won't feel like an NPC next to me. I'm not gonna lie. I will be a headache to her though. But to turn her into a headache on anyone else that she interacts with. At least corrupt her into a headache. That's a little bit better than keeping her as an NPC just existing and not doing anything and being neglected by the government of like, well, just take money and exist. I guess you can't do anything else. Well, that's fucked up, man. I will take advantage of that. NPCs are kind of in that category. If you can actually infiltrate their lives, you can take full advantage of them. And that's really powerful stuff. You're not supposed to be greedy about it, but I'm not. I can look away if you want. I can look away. Just make sure that you actually establish a deep connection. Because now the only thing that's threatening the whole system is that I'm not going to learn fast enough. Then my mom is just going to drag me into her grave. That's the only thing, and I have like plenty of time. By that time, I'm just going to be like accepting my death at that point. If I didn't actually succeed in graduation of full graduation of just independence fully. I can't have a family though. And most people brag about that as well. But they're just another headache. You must understand, this goes so deep. Now, even having your own home, your own relationships, your own fucking full package of like survivability, it's still fucking headache to me, bro. But most likely just an NPC following rules and doing what everyone else is doing. And it's not even that deep enough to be a headache of you bragging about, of like, look at all these things I have and you don't have, and I will not fucking share in any fucking way or give you better opportunities to improve yourself. None of that shit. Technically, right now as I occupy the internet, we just have to wait. We have to wait, and these people are gonna, you know, improve themselves and transition into becoming headaches instead of just silent little pieces of shit, you know. Then we're gonna start hearing their little fucking bragger moves. So brace yourselves in, strap yourselves in, because being rich is bullshit, which is gonna turn the heat up, and we're gonna find those rich people who are really willing to brag about themselves. So you will find the use of me because I'm sitting on top of them. I graduated this to some extent, so I can kick their ass. I can make those rich people into a pancake. You know, I can cure the headache of society. But let's see how we deal with Elon Musk, because that guy is super cool. It's a cool example of a piece of shit, you know. Elon Musk die on Mars, of course. All right, let's listen to him talk. That should be fun.
Is the man who made electric cars a thing?
He made it a thing, though. No, he just bought a company, though.
And is currently working on perfecting reusable rocket space travel connecting the...
Also, it's not a thing. The scooters are a thing. Electric scooters are a thing. Electric cars are a fucking nuisance to society, bro. Not a thing, though.
Human brain directly to computers connecting cities.
The only achievement is that, again, he's just front-running some ideas that already gonna be, like, as fully established. He's, again, just another Steve Jobs moment, but more like extrovert's version of that. Meaning that he's an introvert, but he doesn't give a fuck about extroverting things like space travel or just faster travel and he's just a travel person. He just wants to travel because he's a fucking introvert. He just wants to teleport from place to place. Like, just don't worry about travel that much, Mr. Elon Musk. If you're truly an introvert, you can just stare at the screen and you will travel from here to Japan. From where you are right now to just a world of anime, a world of rainbows and unicorns. You don't need to travel. Where are you going, bro? Like, fucking hell, bro. Just wait. We can already go to Mars. in a video game. We don't need to go to Mars. Like, we have to actually find a reason to go to Mars. Not because we're scared to lose Earth. We need to populate this. You shut the fuck up then. You're not gonna sell Mars to me, though. And most people don't fucking want to move. Don't even want to talk right now. What the fuck? So, what is it gonna pitch in? What are they gonna talk about for 20 minutes? I want to know. Because I'm already getting a headache from him existing.
I do have a long work day. Yeah, so I work a lot.
Why would you work? When are you gonna fucking retire? You know, that is the simplest fucking question. Why? Why would you work? You have to think for yourself. You're projecting a terrible fucking idea of how a human being operates. And people praise Elon Musk to some extent, which is just the most disgusting thing. Because you're gonna benefit from Elon Musk? Are you fucking stupid? He doesn't even benefit from himself. You can't win from this situation, bro. He's literally scamming himself in front of your eyes and you thinking that you're gonna win from this situation. But he's a fucking billionaire, bro. If he's not giving you money, the only resource that he has most of, he's not gonna give you anything else. He's just gonna sell you things. They're probably useless, by the way. But, you know, fingers crossed. Because, like, you can be lucky once, you can establish your passion and just get yourself a bag, but everything changes constantly. To be innovating constantly, you have to, like, work really hard and not get older. You know, you have to remain passionate about those things. So for some reason, he's just strapped. And if we know even more about Elon Musk, again, his wealth is tied with just Tesla stock, and that's about it. That's the only reason why he's fucking billionaire. And everyone is listening to him carefully because they're just salivating for money. They're just greedy. They're hoping that they're going to escape the survival mentality by becoming rich. Yes, you kind of will, but you will still be a headache, though. You're going to be straight up from NPC to a headache. It's not even going to be a smooth transition. It's just going to be like, now you're just a rich piece of shit. You know. You're a rich NPC. You can even add these things together. All right? Which is kind of just like even worse than being a headache. You're a headache and you're potentially just evil.
And princes and queens and presidents, it's really the people in tech who change the world. They're the people who deal the cards.
Well, to some extent, you're not supposed to invent tech, unfortunately. You're supposed to invent ways to use technology. That is the trick of this. Just inventing a new business is not actually going to make you rich. It's, again, you take a bag and you retire. But you have to know what the next step is. You know, just like from school, you have to understand that you're coming into reality. You're going to have to defend for yourself. You know, you're going to be on your own. So the same way you have to understand what the fucking title is. Title ownership is. Of where you're retiring into. What are you going to hold on to as the thing that you do that's still super useful despite you not being desperate to earn money anymore. You know, and that's great. The desperation to earn money is supposed to go away at some point. You have to get rid of that shit. So now I'm desperate to hold a title. And I'm going to move on to the next and the final step. You know, becoming actually social. Which is annoying, right? Like, I graduated so many times and I can't even taste society yet. But, well, every single time I taste society. I mean, half of this stuff has been me fighting for a good workplace. And I realized I can just go back home and try it from here. And it still took a little bit of time to get used to, but we did it, I think. I think we transitioned and picked up a nice title. I must just not drop it, because we'll have to find a new one, you know. But potentially I have enough, good enough platform to stand on, let's put it this way. And I should just, like, you know, close the chapter, so to speak. I should just accept it, because we're throwing too many hints that I've done it, you know. At any point something could happen, but it's unlikely, I would say. It's just very, very unlikely, because once you have enough skills, you know how to establish yourself, you know how to readapt. Even if you dip a little bit, you're gonna go back and regraduate in 2 years, you know. Even if your education is not good enough to earn money, you just go through a different education. And it should just last like 1-2 years, and you done it, you regraduated and found a new job. It's not supposed to be that difficult. You're not supposed to be spending 4 years. No. Don't do that. That's pointless. Don't try and prove your employer. Yeah. It's so fucking complicated. There should be like workers and employers. Well, yeah, your employer. Don't try to prove them that you're gonna stick around. Because you're supposed to prove them that you're valuable. That's it. That they need you. And that's it. That's all they should worry about. And prove them that. Again, most of the things I'm saying, but like I can't truly believe them, because I don't want to be in that much trouble. I can only acknowledge that other people are in that trouble, and I truly respect that. All right, and I can vocalize and tell them in their digital face. All right, I'm willing to do that, which is way better than the real face, because fuck it. I'll tell you in a written form as quickly as possible, and I'm just sitting here comfortably, telling the truth comfortably, and you can trust me, because I get nothing in return, just good feelings in return. So it's perfect. Infinite distance, infinite trust, great, right? And I respect those people, and I graduated because of that. Because I looked into the environment. It sucked in UK. I came back and it seems like, wow, they have it all figured out. They just like, they don't appreciate what they have, you know. I wish they would, but there's a good reason for it. You're put into reality to defend for yourself, because you still have to prove your worth, prove your understanding of how to earn money. It's like the most important thing, the most important life lesson. And now that I have a title to defend, it's a whole nother level, you know. And it's tough. It's going to be tough, man. It is tough. I'm not sure for how long exactly. I think, yeah, since 2022, I'm holding a title. But I'm still haven't established of like, this is for real. Once the year is over, once I have 1 year on the fucking crown, now it's real. Now it's just a real deal. We have began the holding. We have established, you know, something that people can steal or try to, you know, attack. And see what happens.
And the rest of it.
Again, I'm telling you guys, it's not about inventing new technologies. It's about using technologies as best as you can. Not about building a business. Unless you can profit from that, which is very unlikely that you're gonna collect all the parts, you're gonna build a fucking factory. Like, how the fuck do you do that? Right? You start from scratch, and like even that is very difficult. So just the process of becoming rich is insanity, bro. Just the whole process is insanity. The only thing you can do is just fucking pickpocket a rich person and just move on with your life. That's the best way. to keep moving in life. Because there's so many more riches here than there is there. And there's a lot of people that just would buy a temporary crown anyways. This shit can be monetized, bro. This shit can definitely help you survive. Alright? You must understand. This is the fucking NFT that I've been talking about. That went down to $0. I hold probably billion upon a trillion dollar NFT, if anything. I literally hold an NFT that's worth different form of currency that we have never seen before. All right? That's why I can easily just say $1 trillion. I just hold it right now, you know, in my disposal. I feel like I need it, to be honest. But we'll see what happens when my self-esteem grows, right? Because I will not allow it to grow that easily. But we have to establish a way. I guess that's the way, you know, the crown can slip through my hands. Is it will eat itself. You know, it will try and find a way to defeat my self-esteem by itself. You know. Oh, am I an X-Man now? Perhaps. I don't know. So it's a new challenge, is a fucking whole new world unlocked. And by default, anyone close to me is now a headache and not an NPC, because that would be too fucking annoying to have NPCs. Who the fuck are flipping you? You know, we're gonna flip some cards. Turn you into a semi-rich person. And you wouldn't even know why am I rich? But like, you're literally next to a $1 trillion person who can build cities in the future. It's just like the process of building cities. I still can learn a lot of things, and we're still going through the apocalypse. You know. But the process is supposed to be simple. Doing all these things is supposed to be simple and very doable, because humanity has done it so many times. And I'm clearly better than everyone else around me at the moment. At least in terms of self-esteem, in terms of what I'm doing. But it's a good indication of, like, I am. Just prove me wrong, please. Let's reason. But, you know, I have to keep telling myself, well, they're gonna catch me. They're gonna catch me at some point. You know, the police is crawling all around me. So I'm trying to, like, respect everything. Now, I'm not just respecting the people's stories and the money system. I respect literally everything and the magic around me. And that stuff, that's a next level existence in general. But I gotta tease you with that shit. Because most of you can't touch that.